Charley Crockett, the man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, everybody? My name is Skylar Geer. I'm an independent country singer-songwriter from Sandy, Utah, and today we are going to be reviewing the first of two Charley Crockett albums to drop in April 2026. This is a country singer reviews country music. Charley Crockett, The Age of the Ram. First off, album cover's pretty cool. It's got this old school classic country look with a sketched picture of Charley and that old school Western font for Charley Crockett across the top and Age of the Ram. A lot of people like to tease and talk shit about Charley, saying he's just a cover song singer and that's all he does, and he just puts out the same songs. Well, this is kind of an FU to those people because he pretty much wrote or co-wrote every song on Age of the Ram, other than, I believe, 3. And we've got 20 total songs. The story of the album is pretty much based off of an old Marty Robbins tune, old school country, and the album was called Old Red. And in that album, Marty talks about Billy McLean. And Charley has mentioned him many times in the past. It seems like he really likes those old Western stories, in particular the ones about Billy McLean. It just seems to be fictional cowboy stories. This album was recorded in Los Angeles, produced alongside Mr. Shooter Jennings, yes, Waylon's son. Shooter also recently produced the most recent Jake Owen album, which is pretty damn good. I recommend go check that out, as well as his father's album, a new Waylon album that he had put out of old, previously unreleased recordings. We've got 14 full songs on this album, and then 6 kind of more interlude, introduction skits to kind of fit in with that almost concept album storytelling, old Western storytelling. All right, let's get into it. The first song is Life and Times of Billy McLean. Again, this is just kind of an interlude, intro. There's nothing crazy here. It's just kind of an old Western story. First real song is called Lonesome Dove. This is kind of a simple acoustic start. His voice cuts in with that reverb on it, just very open sounding. The band comes in a little bit later, bringing in that old school country feel. The back half of the verse, we get a little piano, which is very cool. The whole track is just so like it's 50s, 60s country vibe, very Marty Robbins, of course. It's a nice song lyrically. It's just kind of about traveling, life on the road as a musician, and leaving a love behind. 9 out of 10. Track 3 is called Rancho Deluxe. Band comes in right out of the gate. We've got some nice steel guitar, some kind of acoustic strums, very simple drum pattern. It's very open, very old school. It's a simple tune, just talking about a group of fellas on the road, Old West, traveling. We're not really outlaws or thieves. We just love being on the move, playing cards, going from town to town. It's just that old honky-tonk, very Western. You could hear this in a movie. Rancho Deluxe, 7 out of 10 for me. Track number 4, My Last Drink of Wine. This has got a nice acoustic start with just Charley's voice. The whole album so far is just that very old West, Marty Robbins, classic country sound. Not a lot of modern sound to it thus far. There is a cool little breakdown on this tune where it kind of goes into that halftime feel. The keys are nice that kind of slip in and out. Just a very Western song, like all of these. And he's basically explained that the last 3 albums are very concept albums, but I think the first 2 albums had a lot more modern production caked into it, and this one leans more into the old school vibe for sure. It's just kind of about reflecting on life, kicking back with a drink, and just kind of having a good time. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. Track number 5 is called Fastest Gun Alive. This is more of the full band here. Again, we're talking about traveling guy, life on the road. A lot of similar sounds to the previous songs. I don't have a ton to say here. This is just a pretty solid, straightforward tune. You're just kind of that outlaw on the road, doing your thing, traveling, having a good time. 8 out of 10. Track number 6 is called Diamond Bell. This is our first ballad. This is kind of a reflection of a country boy's life, standing up for what you believe in, even if that gets you in trouble with the law. And I do know Charley in real life has had a little bit of run-ins with the law based on some marijuana farms he has owned. I think he got in trouble in Virginia or something like that. So he's got a lot of experience here, and it's just kind of that pushback a little bit on just allowing somebody to just be free and doing their thing. I'll give this one a 9 out of 10 because I kind of really dig it, and it's nice to have a ballad kind of mixed in here. Number 7 is called I Shot Jesse James. He co-wrote this with Shooter, but also his wife, Taylor Grace. It's kind of that fun cowboy song, nothing crazy. It's just all simple, fun storytelling cowboy songs. Life on the road, probably some fictional stories mixed into here. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Track number 8 is just one of these little snippet interludes. Life and Times of Billy McLean. It's just kind of continuing this classic Western story. It's almost like a movie playing out through music. Track number 9, Crazy Women Ridge. The band is a little more active here. We've got some dobro. It's pretty upbeat for the most part. Middle of the song kind of slows down and does a little side stick on the drum. The dobro is really the focal point here. And if I had to guess, the song seems like he's talking about his wife or just about a loved one traveling with her by his side and what he's done and what she's done, what they've seen together. And she's just always right there with him. And he's kind of a crazy outlaw ish guy. And she just fits that crazy right along with him. I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Track number 10 is called Remembering Pat. We've got another little snippet interlude here, just talking about someone named Pat, a little bit of the fiddle and guitar, and you kind of hear some horses kind of riding off at the end. It's almost like we're leading into the next section of songs, like a new scene. Track number 11, Sweet Mother, Texas. This one was written by Sanger D. Schaefer and Eddie Raven. I absolutely love Eddie Raven. Very underrated. Not a lot of people know him. He had some killer 80s country songs. So that's really cool to hear his name. And the song itself is just kind of a love letter to Texas. We've got like a choir harmony going on in the chorus. Outside of that, it's pretty much just acoustic and Charley. And then there's like some foot stomps that are used as the drums. Just kind of gives it that church vibe. It's pretty solid. I kind of dig this one. 8 out of 10. Track 12 is called Kentucky Too Long. This is kind of a change of pace from all the other songs. This one is the one that'll probably get the most play. It's the most like radio friendly. It's probably going to be the most popular. It's doing really well so far. Right off the bat, you're into just some cool stuff. We got like an organ, Rhodes keyboard thing kind of going on with some dobro licks. The drum groove is very funky. It's almost like a rap the way Charley is delivering the lyrics. And just talking about being in Kentucky too long and the law's coming for him. He's got to get out of there. He kind of talks about his dad being in Vietnam and then coming home, kind of fighting with the law and life. And you can kind of groove to this song, and I think it'll be a crowd favorite. I've been in Kentucky too long. It's fun. I like it. It's my favorite song on the whole project. This is a 10 out of 10. 13, we've got Border Winds. This is another short skit interlude, just like 30 seconds, kind of just leading into this next section of songs. And I think the only thing it really says was, cover my trail tonight. So just kind of, I don't really know. I don't know how to do this with my music. I don't know how to add these little stories and interludes. Just imagination stuff, I guess. Track number 14 is the Rancho Deluxe End. So it's almost like a part 2 of the previous song, Rancho Deluxe. There's some really nice piano here. Drums are super simple. This is almost just the end of the story as the first Rancho song. This is like the men are leaving town. They're back on the road, roaming. I'm assuming these are all just fictional songs, just fictional stories, stuff that he's heard growing up in Texas, old Western stories, branching off of Marty Robbins' songs and albums and kind of just making them his own. And I think Charley sees himself in a lot of these stories because he's been very well traveled in his life. So this one's a 7 out of 10 for me. 15, we've got the actual song, Billy McLean. A very soft acoustic start. Then Charley comes in. The band doesn't come in until verse 2. Bringing a very cool old school groove. Production on this whole project is a little more light, stripped down than the previous two. Other than a select few like Kentucky Too Long, but there's some nice piano here. The song itself is talking about a drifter, traveler. Again, these are all based off like these Marty Robbins songs, albums, and this one is like a very modern version of some Marty Robbins stuff. It's pretty solid. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Then we've got track 16, which is the Life and Times of Billy McLean. We got another skit here, old Western film score type. He sings like a small little piece about Billy, love, and redemption during the age of the Ram, which is the name of the album. So nothing crazy there. It's just a little skit. Track 17 is called Powder River. Again, we got another skit here talking about getting across the river. He'll see you on the other side. Kind of an old Brother Where Art Thou vibe to it, leading into this last section of songs. Track 18, Low Down Freedom. This is full band, some really cool piano stuff, a little bit of acoustic. The drum beat almost has a Waylon Jennings vibe to it. I would prefer to get a little more electric guitars in here, but again, this album is super stripped down. There is a little bit of steel guitar in the background. The song itself is kind of talking about freedom and it cost him everything. It's just a really nice, solid song, and there's a really cool guitar solo toward the end. It's an 8 out of 10. Track number 19 is called Me and Shooter. This one's upbeat, two tapping, just kind of that old school. You can groove to it. And it's literally just talking about him kicking it with Shooter Jennings. They're always having a good time. He kind of talks about his wife a little bit and how great she's been for him. And then just kicking it in LA with Shooter at the studio. And then he's back out on the road to go play all these songs they wrote together and produced together. And it's just kind of that four on the floor, almost straight train beat throughout the whole tune. 7 out of 10. The final song, number 20, Cover My Trail Tonight. This one's very more bluesy than the rest of the project. Charley's kind of humming along with a piano and bass, some light drums. There's quite a bit of reverb, like on the side stick. The drum's doing like a side stick thing on the snare. Charley sings in a lower register, which he doesn't always do. So that's pretty cool. Between Kentucky Too Long and this one, these are my two favorites. This would probably be the second. I really like that Kentucky Too Long. But this one's solid. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. Overall, The Age of the Ram, Charley Crockett, it's a solid cowboy album, very concept album, very Old West. If that's your kind of thing, the old country western, the Marty Robbins type of sound, then you will love this. I'll probably revisit at least 4 or 5 songs quite often. But Charley is just the hardest working man in country music, if you ask me. Like, he's 2-3 albums a year. It's really cool. I love it. I mean, if you got the money to do it, why not? You know, I wish I could do that. But I've been working on, my first album for the last 3 years. Really, the last 10 years, if you think going back to writing it and how I got here. But 3 years of actual recording. So, Man from Waco is probably my favorite overall album. Between that and $10 Cowboy, those two I just absolutely love. So go check it out. Charley Crockett, Age of the Ram. I'll do another review for his other April album called Clovis. So stay tuned for that and follow along. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more. If you have a specific album you'd like me to review, drop it in the comments. I can do that for you. And I appreciate you listening. My name is Skylar Geer.